Hungary is known as Monaco without the yachts. Rain would be the demon for many DRS drivers at this famous circuit except TSL Syme. Light rain covered the full duration of qualifying. It was first predicted the weather would get worse as the session went on. This saw the entire grid go out early. To set a lap while the conditions were light, a sudden change in wind meant the rain lessened and many drivers saw improved times as the quali session came to a close. UJGC stole the show during quali and was half a second quicker than anyone else, with TSL Syme and Scornful Griffin recording their worst qualifying performance to date in DRS. The two HAAs were looking strong with a second gridlock out. Qualifying was as follows: P1 UJGC, P2 V Swanton Bomb, P3 MK5 on bags, P4 Davey Walker, P5 Joker, P6 Smug Git for the second race in a row and third this season, P7 Sane, SIP8 Scornful Griffin, P9 Hybrid, P10 Levi, P11 TSL Syme, P12 The Sloth, P13 Batman, P14 50 Gent, P15 TMK, P16 UFRL Lewis, P17 AI Newt, P18 Easy Life. We are lights out and away. We go at the damp qualifying session now finished. The entire grid's eyes scanned the upcoming race forecast and tried to plan a strategy around this. It showed that there was a high chance of rain in the latter stages of the Grand Prix. This was going to make for an exciting finish to the race. The race consisted of mixed strategies, some starting on the hard tyre to possibly see if this would see them until the rain came down, a strategy that would have paid dividend to the Mercedes filling driver, UFRL Lewis, but his pit crew let him down. The other runners went on the medium tyre and would have been expecting that the rain would not be enough to affect the track and that the slicks would see it through until the checkered flag. The race started and Swanton Bomb snatched P1 from the napping, sleeping UJGC. MK5 once again got a great start, but unfortunately coming into turn 2 wasn't on the preferred line, so had to back out and settle for P2. Smug Git got his Alpha up into P3, with Scornful Griffin and TSL Syme chasing behind. Davey Walker fell back into 9th and UJGC found himself dropping back to P8. Being on the hard tyre, he was struggling to get past the other drivers as their yellow compound tyre started to fall away after the pit stops. Smug Git decided to give his tyre a little touch of the concrete curb, and in the blink of an eye, he found himself facing the wrong way down the pit, straight. This was preyed on by TSL, Syme, Scornful Griffin and UJGC. The hard to medium strategy seemed to be paying moneybag off for many of the drivers. The two AlphaTauri drivers were getting caught in the midfield pack with Aon Newt, the Sloth, Davey, Walker and Sainsey all having close on rack battles. Lap 28 came and so did the first sprinkle of rain. This didn't affect the track, but it was causing panic in the team's garages as to when it was going to be ready for the inters. Then came the dreaded lap 30. MK5 was looking like getting a very solid P2 until he hit a damp curb on turn 3 and he rode his car off in the barrier, followed by Aon Newt finding himself in the rear of the Sloth. This brought out an immediate safety car. Swanton Bomb had himself an 18-second lead over P2, looking certain to take his first victory at Hungary, and now had the choice to come in for a set of softs to finish on, or was the track ready for inters. The prick made the wrong choice. He came out on softs and watched 98% of the remaining grid come out on the inter tyre, with Scornful Griffin going even bolder and staying out on his set of hard tyres. This gave him provisional lead of the race. The first two sectors, these two drivers thought they had made all the other drivers look like fools. As they entered Sector 3, those smiles suddenly dropped as puddles of water had formed on the circuit and the softs were not holding temperature. They both darted for the pits. Now everyone, please remember, no matter how bad you think your situation is, there is always someone else making an even bigger fool out of themselves. Hey, Scorn.as, we came round the last corner before the pits. Alpine had a magnet that slowly pulled him towards the wall and his car drifted off away from the pits and to the wall. You twat. This gave me the chance to get in the pits and steal the position off him, but had TSL Syme leading the race and UJGC now in second. The safety car came in with 2 laps to go, and with the DRS deactivated and the weather proving tricky, most finished in the same position that they were behind the SC. TSL Syme finally had a stroke of good luck and credit where credit is due. He maximised his race position following an awful quali and got himself in the position so when mistakes were made he could capitalise. Great first win in DRS. Congratulations. Trophy. UJGC returned to the lead and took P2, also driving a great race. Clap, Swanton Bomb should have won the race, but I'm sure would settle for P3. Following the comical error made by the McLaren driver, Levi Hughes P4, but unfortunately his penalties put him down to P6. Sainsy and my driver of the day Fireworks snatched P4, driving an awesome Grand Prix with no penalties. This also gave him P1 in Chrome. Scorn grabbed P5 following his spin, and Batman P7 with P2 in the Chrome tier. Joker 00 took the third Chrome and P8 overall. Hybrid, who I failed to mention much of, finished P9 driving a consistent race and led Smug Git by 1.2 seconds. Davey Walker took P11 but P4 and gained on the Chrome Championship. 50 Gent was P12, one Positon behind the HAA's team overall and in Chrome placement. UFRL Lewis grabbed the final spot P13 with his bold efforts taking balls, but unfortunately it did not pay off for him.